It was a dark and stormy night, with the thunder outside shaking the house. Lightning occasionally lit up the room where two friends, Andrew and Mike, sat on a couch. On the small table in front of them, a few candles flickered weakly, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The rain hammered against the windows, creating the perfect backdrop for horror stories. Mike, frowning but with a mischievous smile. "All right, Andrew, since you insist, I'll tell you the story of the cursed forest. But don't say I didn't warn you." Andrew, adjusting his pillow, looking curious. "I'm waiting to be impressed, but make it serious. No kiddie tales." Mike, lighting another candle and starting in a low voice. "They say that many years ago, on a night just like this, a group of friends got lost in a forest on the edge of town. But it wasn't an ordinary forest. The trees were tall, twisted, and seemed to have eyes watching them. One of them, curious, decided to venture deeper, ignoring all the warnings. Andrew, rolling his eyes but listening intently. Of course, the classic character who ignores all the signs. And? What happened?" Mike, seriously. "He never came back. His friends said they heard whispers coming from the darkness, and when they tried to search for him, a bright light flashed through the trees. After that, the forest went completely silent. Not even the wind moved." Andrew, starting to look uneasy. "Okay, I admit, that's a bit creepy. But it's just a story, right?" Mike, with a mysterious smile. "Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But what I know for sure is, that forest still exists. If you go far enough, you'll find it." Andrew, raising an eyebrow. "Mike, isn't that the same forest my grandpa used to talk about? The one even animals avoid?" Mike, with a serious look. "Exactly. They say whoever enters and stays overnight never comes out." A loud clap of thunder shakes the house, and both of them jump. Andrew, laughing nervously. "I think the storm is helping your story, but let's be real. There's no such thing as cursed forests." Mike, whispering. "Are you sure? Then why does old Mr. Johnson next door claim he still hears whispers at night when he walks by?" The room suddenly grows darker, and a shadow passes across the window. Andrew, startled. "Mike, did you see that?" Mike, smiling. "Maybe my story isn't just a story after all." The candles flicker more violently, and both friends hold their breath. Outside, the storm rages on, and inside, the mystery deepens.
The room was suffocatingly dark, the flickering candles barely holding back the shadows. The storm outside raged furiously, lightning flashing in blinding bursts. Andrew and Mike sat huddled on the couch, their voices low as the rain lashed the windows. Mike's hands trembled as he lit another candle, his eyes darting nervously to the window. Andrew, nervously. "Mike, you're acting weird. What's wrong?" The darkness was suffocating, pressing in from all sides. Andrew and Mike sat frozen on the couch, their breaths shallow and quick. The voice had been unmistakable, cold, hollow, and impossibly close. Andrew, whispering, barely audible. "Mike, what do we do?" Mike, his voice shaking. "I don't know. I don't know." The scratching at the door suddenly stopped, replaced by an eerie silence. The storm outside seemed to quiet, as though the world itself was holding its breath. Andrew, glancing toward the door. "Maybe it's gone." Before Mike could answer, a loud bang echoed through the house as the door to the hallway slammed shut. Both men jumped, their eyes darting around the room. Mike, panicking. "It's not gone. It's inside." A faint, wet sound began to emerge like dripping water, growing louder with every second. They both turned their heads toward the far corner of the room, where the shadows seemed to writhe and shift unnaturally. Andrew, his voice cracking. "What? What is that?" From the shadows, a pair of glowing eyes emerged, cold, white, and empty. The figure began to take shape, impossibly tall and thin, its limbs bending in unnatural ways. Mike, screaming, "Stay away!" The figure didn't move closer, but the voice returned, this time filling the room as though coming from everywhere and nowhere. Voice, you let me in. Now you belong to me. The candles went out all at once, plunging them into absolute darkness. Andrew grabbed Mike's arm, his nails digging in as he tried to hold on. Andrew, desperate. Mike, don't let go. But Mike's grip slackened, and in the pitch-black room, Andrew felt his friend being pulled away, disappearing into the void. Mike's voice, fading, terrified. Andrew, run. And then, silence. Andrew was alone, his heart pounding so loud it felt as though it might burst. He crawled blindly, trying to find the door, the couch, anything. Lightning flashed outside, illuminating the room for a split second. The figure was right behind him. Voice, soft, mocking. There's no escape. The storm raged on outside, but inside, the house fell silent once more. The shadows swallowed everything. Mike, whispering, his voice shaky. I didn't want to say anything, but something happened last night. Andrew, leaning closer. What do you mean? What happened? Mike, glancing over his shoulder, voice quick and panicked. I was walking home late near the old park. You know, the one no one goes to anymore. It was quiet, too quiet. Even the air felt heavy, like it was pressing down on me. I thought I heard footsteps behind me, but every time I looked there was nothing. Andrew, frowning. Okay, creepy, but it's just your imagination, right? Mike, shaking his head, voice trembling. No, it wasn't. I swear I saw something. A shadow. It wasn't a person, Andrew. It was tall. Too tall, and its legs. They didn't move right. It just stood there at the edge of the path, staring at me. Andrew, eyes widening. Staring? You're sure it wasn't a trick of the light? Mike, his breathing quickening. No, it was real. And the worst part, when I turned to run, I heard it whisper my name. Not out loud, in my head, like it was inside me. Andrew, now visibly scared. Mike, stop. This isn't funny. Mike, almost pleading. I'm not joking. I ran as fast as I could, but no matter how far I went, I kept hearing it. The whispers wouldn't stop. And then, when I finally got home, I saw it again. Standing outside my window, just watching me. Andrew, whispering. Did you tell anyone? Mike, shaking his head violently. Who would believe me? And now, I think it followed me here. A deafening clap of thunder shakes the house and both of them jump. The candles flicker wildly, and for a brief moment, the room is plunged into darkness. Andrew, panicking. Mike, did you lock the door? Mike, stammering. I don't remember. A low scratching noise echoes from the hallway. Both friends freeze, their eyes fixed on the door. Andrew, whispering, terrified. Mike, what's that? Mike, tears in his eyes, whispering. It's here. The scratching grows louder, turning into slow, deliberate thuds. The candlelight flickers one last time before going out completely. In the pitch-black darkness, a voice, low and cold, whispers, Andrew. Mike, let me in. The two friends scream, but their voices are drowned out by the storm.